Adams Lee from, are you from Sacramento or are you from outside of
Originally I'm from like a really small town with like 700 people outside Napa.
Wow.
So very, yeah, super small town. Like we had 2 stoplights and it was a really big deal for us. We're like, what's a Starbucks? And so originally I'm from that small town, and then I moved to Sacramento for college.
And you are now in?
I'm in El Dorado Hills, which is just a suburb of Sac.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Well, I think the important thing for everybody to know is that you have an incredibly massively wonderful business. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your business and how your team is structured? Because I kind of saw the visuals of the team. Hold on just a second. I'm just going to mute everybody because we've got some background noise.
No worries.
Then, oh, I can't mute everybody because I'm not the host. Andy, can you mute everybody?
Sure, I'll mute them all now.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. All right. So, so my name is Virtaul Adams Lee, and yes, thank you so much, Irene, for setting all of this up. I'm excited to get to chat with you guys. And just because I do 9,000 of these, tell me where you're located.
We're in Toronto, Canada.
Toronto.
I forgot that. I know you're doing this all the time. You're like, I know Irene, but where is she?
I know. Well, and honestly, it's like because of everybody's time zone, that's why I asked you to send me a calendar invite, because I'm managing all the different time zones and not just here. Like I was Skyping into like South Africa the other day. So it's like, it's all over the map. But yeah, my name's Virtaul. I've been in real estate 8 years now. I got into real estate in February of 2012. So if any of you were in real estate then, that's where there was like short sales and REOs, and it was a very different market. At that point in my life, I was actually working at a real estate office and I was unlicensed. I was managing an office, and my thing was I was basically like the happy face when they walked through the door. And so I always was really positive and wanted to just, help everybody have a great day. But reality for me was life was very different. My home life was challenging. I was in a really unhealthy marriage. My ex-husband was 80% disabled. 50% was PTSD from the Marine Corps.
Wow.
And yeah, I spent my days inspiring everybody else, and I spent my nights like crying myself to sleep. It was a really challenging time in my life. So I knew I wanted to change. I just didn't know how to get there. And then I heard about this class called Bold coming up in a few months to this company called Keller Williams. So I thought, okay, I'm going to get my real estate license and I'm going to take this class. So I went to the first step of Bold, and, people always say like they're paycheck behind a paycheck. Well, I'm paycheck to paycheck. I'm paycheck behind a paycheck. I mean, I was like very financially struggling. My ex-husband wasn't working. And so I take the class called Bold, and I heard a quote that kind of rocked my world. And it was, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change, right? So I was always sort of in a scarcity mindset. Can't quit my job. It's safe. I know exactly how much money's coming in. And yet, what if I shifted my mindset? What if I had this abundant mindset? Well, then there's no cap on how much money I can make. And like, I create my own destiny, right? So, I didn't have the money to take Bold. A home inspector actually sponsored me through my first Bold, and I paid him back $200 out of every transaction. And he got my home inspection business. And then I jumped into real estate, and my grandma's a real estate broker. So is my dad. And my dad was like, you have to have 6 months of savings before you jump in. I was like, okay, daddy, sounds good. And then I didn't listen. So I jumped into real estate, and it was an intense start, you guys. I door knocked 200 doors a week. I did 3 open houses a week.
Wow.
So 200 doors knocking, 3 open houses, and I didn't sell a house for the first 4 months. So you can imagine the breakdowns that happened in that space, but also the breakthroughs. Like, I got so committed to journaling, so committed to script practice, and I script practiced, 7 days a week. I mastered the listing presentation through Bold. I wrote it 100 times. I mean, I can recite it to you right now, like in my sleep. I dream that listing presentation. So I didn't sell any houses for the first 4 months, but then I was able to sell 39 homes that first year, and then 109, then 123. So third year I hit top 1,000 in the country. I'm now 8 years into the business. I'm very thankful. My life looks very different. I run 4 different 6-figure businesses, and all of them are widely through social media, you guys. So I have my real estate team. It's the Virtaul Adams Lee Group, and we're here in Northern California. Then I have a real estate coaching business. So I coach agents as well on social media and just overall business strategy. And then I have a public speaking. So normally I'd be in your market center doing this. And I really want to come to Canada. So like after all this craziness is over, I want to I'll come teach in your market center because I really
would love that.
Yeah.
Because as much energy as you have on screen, people have no idea how much energy you have on the stage.
So have you heard of Lake O'Hara before? I don't know where it is, but it's in Canada. And my family used to go there every year when I was little. Like Google it, someone figure out where it is. Cause it's like the most beautiful, magical little resort. It's stupid expensive and someone has to like die for you to get to go there. No joke. Like everyone's rebooked.
It's in British Columbia, which is just
okay.
up from you. So it's closer to you than we are.
That's right. Okay. Well, I don't care. I want a Toronto tour. I want like Canada life. So you guys are going to have to tell me when I go. Okay. So then I also we have 3 different businesses kind of in the real estate space. And then I also have, an anti-aging shampoo and skincare company that I partnered with like 2.5 years ago. And we have over 6,000 people on that team. So all of my businesses are widely through social media. And I think that was like a really big shift for me because, you know, when the pandemic hit, everybody was like, what the heck do we do? How do we handle this? And in the very beginning, to be honest, you guys, I was in like la la land. The first 2 weeks I was like, let's drink a lot of cocktails. We're going to handle this. And so my husband and I just really had a little 2-week vacation. And then we realized, you know, no, we didn't have enough information in the beginning. Then we realized how serious this is. And we're like, okay, we have to shift our gears. And my biggest thing with having as many people as I do on the different teams is taking care of them. So the first thing I did for real estate is I looked at my business and I realized, you know, we've kind of been doing virtual before it needed to happen. And part of that for me is that I always talk about the life by design. Like I've taken Bold Pivot's my 9th time now. So you know, I firmly believe in the program and to me, like everyone has their own version of what their life by design is. For me, it means doing what I want, when I want, with who I want. And in order to have that lifestyle, I love travel. Like I will literally pick where I go speak in a market center because I want a vacation in like their town. And, you know, I realized that in order to shift everything, I needed to make every single system that we have virtual. So the first thing I did for the real estate team is we did a Zoom with them, and I walked through every single part of the real estate transaction, from like the initial first phone call, setting the expectation of what it's like in the virtual life, to showing homes, to final walkthroughs, home inspections, right? And I walked through everything and I shifted it all virtually. And I do have a YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube/Rachel Adams Lee, you guys, there's hours and hours and hours of free coaching available there for you.
I was checking it out while we were chatting, and it's mind-boggling the stuff you've got there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and so there's a video on there called how to turn your real estate business virtual. So I did another recording just for my YouTube world, for all my coaching clients, to kind of go over that. So feel free to watch that. And then the other thing we did is we wanted to make sure we were reaching out in the right way to our sphere and to our database. Because, you know, in the beginning, when we reached out, everybody, when you'd say like, how are you to, you know, a past client, everyone was kind of scared. No one knows what was going on. It was kind of crazy. Well, now that the shelter in place has been going on long enough, I mean, obviously, are you guys considered essential there right now?
Yes, we were essential from the beginning.
Good.
We have had restrictions, but have been allowed to function in more or less a full capacity with change.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we've been really fortunate.
Such a blessing. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, California, we were not essential for a while. So that's why we had to really edit everything to be super virtual. I mean, our appraisers wouldn't even go in a house. Like they would only do drive-bys, and then you have to have good photos and like video walkthroughs to be able to show them. Like it was little bananas. But I want to give you the script that we used, because it doesn't matter if you are essential, not essential, you have full authority or not. This script that I created, really, it's well received, and it works for absolutely every single community in the world, really. So the idea is, it doesn't matter if this is like your past client who you sold a house for 2 weeks ago or 4 years ago. It doesn't matter if you are amazing keeping up with your database, or this is going to be your first call to your database ever. It doesn't matter. You can edit the script. Basically what we do is we would call and they would answer, and I would just say, hey there, this is Rachel, your local realtor. So, I just wanted to call and check in on you. Normally what I'd be doing is I'd be calling you and letting you know about some like past solds or something that's happening in your community, but that doesn't feel appropriate right now. And with everything going on in the world, I just wanted to call and ask you, is there anything I can do for you right now, either personally or professionally? I mean, how are you doing? And you just let the conversation go. So it's, can I help you with anything personally or professionally? How are you doing? And like I said, in the beginning, nobody was asking us about us or the market or anything. They were just scared. What's happening now is that conversation can either be a 5-minute conversation or it can be 50 minutes. Sometimes they're like, oh my God, a human. I'm so excited to talk to you. But then what happens is what's happening now is they say, well, when you ask someone about you, then they want to ask about you as well. So then they say, well, gosh, Rachel, like, how are you doing? How's the market? And so what I want you to have is I want you to be prepared. I want you to know how many houses are being bought and sold in your community right now, either in the last week or the last month, like the area you service. Because what is really powerful is I can say, well, gosh, you know what? To be honest with you, the market's pretty strong. I mean, people really thought that the pandemic would tank everything. And I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. And yet what I can tell you, I don't have a crystal ball, but what I can tell you right now is the market's very strong. In fact, in the last month, we had over 600 houses go pending, or whatever your number is, right? And what that tells me is the market is moving. So if you're a buyer looking, well, gosh, there are serious buyers out there because they're willing to wear the mask. They're willing to wear the gloves and, handle the safety precautions, and interest rates are extremely low. And if you're a seller, honestly, there's not a lot of inventory. So it puts you in a really advantageous position where you can get, not only what you thought you'd get for your house, but likely even more than that. And it's a pretty great time. And, as far as everything else, gosh, we are busy. I have a 9-month-old little baby at home, baby Henry, and he is my most high maintenance quarantine buddy. And, so then I always end it with something personal. So when they ask about me, I jump into the market stats because I want to reassure them. And then I end it with something personal. And then this is the best part. So I always liked, my favorite thing, like when I got into real estate, I was told that real estate agents were slimy. We were like used car salesmen. And I thought, well, that's not going to work. Like, that's horrible. And I thought, how can I change that narrative? Right. And so I realized the reason people thought that is it was so much about what we could get, what I can get from you. And instead of what can I give to you, how can I add value? So like every single day when I wake up and I'm on social media, I think, how can I add value to my sphere, to my audience, to my community? And what's lovely about that is it's received. So when I first started my first year really focusing on social media, I got like 17 referrals through social media. And then it was 59. Last year was 123 referrals just through social media. And so one of the things I do is I always want to leave people with something great. And so in that phone conversation, one thing I want to encourage you to do is I want you to leave them. So what I would say is, say Irene and I are on the phone and we're chatting and she's my past client. I say, Irene, one thing we're doing right now, I wanted to come up with something that was really fun and really light that could add value, to your life. So I have these 6 really fun scavenger hunts. One of them is a nature scavenger hunt to get you outside, get a little fresh energy going for you. Another one is a rainbow scavenger hunt. So whether you want to do it with, kiddos, say they have kids at home, or if they don't have kids, grab a glass of wine, head outside and just mix it up a little bit. Can I have an email address to shoot those over to you? And the scavenger hunts, you guys, then what happens, your clients are sending you pictures of their kids and like, it's so good. So surprise, it's on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, so if you go to YouTube/Rachel Adams Lee, the first thing I want to ask for you to do is hit subscribe, because what that will do is it will make it so that you get all of my coaching videos. I release a coaching video every other Friday. For the whole year. I actually pre-recorded 21 videos when I was pregnant with baby Henry. So my job during quarantine is to get all of those edited with my guy and get the descriptions, which is what I've been doing. And so now they get to be released to all of you, which is exciting.
So Can I want to ask you a question because I know what you do, and I think it's really important for our attendees to hear this as well. So your social media strategies are organic. You don't do a ton of ads. You don't do
Mm-mm.
all that stuff that Facebook wants you to pay for. So
Yeah.
can you give us an idea? And I think, I mean, there's so much social media, we can't cover everything at once. So what is your platform of choice? We still have some background somewhere. I can't tell where it is. Is it Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube? What do you use most?
Okay, great question. And just to tie up that last part, if you guys want that COVID script and you want those scavenger hunt handouts, if you go to the YouTube video, it says like the #1 database script for COVID, and you click on the description and it says read more, click on that. There's a hyperlink to my Google Drive that will give you those scavenger hunts.
Oh my gosh,
so those are there.
amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so my primary platforms, I have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Those are the 3 that I use. People always say like, oh, can you give me your LinkedIn profile? I was like, not really, because I don't use it. So it's not up to date and I do nothing with it. Like, I don't even accept the people on there. Like, don't find me on there. And I don't do Twitter. I don't do Snapchat. I don't do TikTok. Like, I'm very aware of like where my business comes from.
I think that's really important. Yeah, it's important because I think people try and spread out a little bit. And I know that you were tight.
Yeah.
Focus on
and everybody wants omnipresence, right? Like they want to be everything everywhere, but you can't be. You can't master all of these different platforms at a high level. So I would encourage you, if you're starting with social, pick one. I mean, I started with Facebook and really, I really embraced that. I have a good friend that works at Facebook, so he always is giving me like the update on the algorithms, which if you are curious of that, just make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, because I always share when the algorithm changes, so how you can beat it. I do have a really good YouTube video on how to beat the Instagram algorithm for those of you who do Insta. So, I use Instagram and Facebook as my primary. I will do the same post on both pages. I do not link the pages because the algorithm doesn't like when they're linked. So you'll have more eyes if you unlink your pages. And then I make sure Instagram, I use hashtags, whereas Facebook, it doesn't matter for hashtags because then people are searching for you. YouTube is like my baby child. I gave my whole YouTube page a facelift. We just redid our intro to add baby Henry to it. And so that's really, that's a labor of love for me, and it will continue to grow. And, so I'll give you just a couple basics. And so people always say to me, do I need to have a personal page or a business page? And reality is you need to have both. You absolutely need to have both. Because, for me, and I'm just going to ask you guys, because I like to see people's faces. I don't care if you didn't shower like me. Turn your cameras on, you guys. I want to see your happy faces. I'm scrolling through and I see everybody's like still photos. I'm like, where are my people this morning? I know you're there.
There they are.
I see David Young is there.
Yay.
There's Meg and Carol. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer's been here the whole time. Miss Janice. Hello. Janice, how fun is your hair color?
Actually, my daughter co-opted my computer, so it's Katie, but she co-opted my computer.
I like it.
It's not Meg.
Mark's here. Got it.
Janice's hair is actually brown, Rachel, but somehow on Zoom, it is always purple. She did a screenshot of it earlier this week, and it was literally like magenta purple. It was crazy. So she does have brown hair. Who else have we got? Allison has just joined us. Welcome. Okay, Rachel, you're muted. Hold on.
Thank you.
You're muted. We can't have you muted.
There you go.
Oop, there we go.
Okay.
I don't know how it happened.
I don't know either.
Faces. I like it because I'm like, if I'm showing up for you, you show up for me. I want to see your faces this morning. Okay, so do you need to have a business or personal page? You need to have both. Your business page through Facebook is where Google's going to pull you up. So when somebody researches like Rachel Adams Lee, it's going to pull up my business profile. Now, it also, you can have reviews there and testimonials, but I'll be honest with you. All of my referrals, all 123 came to my personal page. Why? Because people work with people they like, and they want to know who you are. They want to know what makes you tick. They want to know, all the things about you. And so I really would encourage you guys to embrace the fact that, your personal page is really where the main interaction is going to happen. And so when I think about my personal social media, I believe in the 80-20 principle. 80% of what you post, it's you. It's who you are. It's where you're going. It's what you're doing. It's what you're reading. It's what you're eating. It's who you are. 20%, that's going to be your business. That's going to be your real estate. And if you don't know what to post about real estate in this season, you can, I mean, a lot of people will take a picture of right now. They'll take a picture of me teaching, and they'll say, you know, hey guys, a lot of people have been reaching out to me and asking me how the market is and how I'm doing. So I just want to give you a little update. So as far as the market, and then you could give your little stat, you know, there's actually, you know, people are worried what's going on with the market, but I want to reassure you. In fact, we had 600 houses go pending. You know, if buyers are out there, they're serious looking, wearing the mask, if sellers are out there, low inventory. So you give your spiel and then say, and you know, does it look like business as usual? Absolutely not. But what I want to tell you is that I'm here for you. I'm not going anywhere, and you can count on me. And in fact, this morning I was able to learn from a top 1,000 agent in the country on how to increase my social media skills, you know, from the comfort of my own home. So I am making sure that I'm doing the best that I possibly can to know how to take care of you, you know, and you post a picture of this. It doesn't always have to be do you want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? And in fact, when you make it more personal, that's when people really want to connect with you, because they want to know you're human. You know, I always, when I teach a 2-day, like 8-hour social media class, and it's like deep dives into it. And one of the things that I really focus on is, you know, when I'm doing social media, I prep. So I use an app called Google Keep. Google Keep. If you guys don't use that, it's going to become your best friend. It's a phenomenal app that I track. I actually will prep all my posts in there. You can have posts in there. You can have templates in there. My referral template for when I'm on like a Facebook group or something and someone tags me, I just go to Google Keep, I grab my template, I pop it in. You also can create a shortcut on your phone for that if you're tech savvy like that. But what I really like about Google Keep is, say that you have, you need to make a post and you don't have time to actually make the post. You're like, you know, on the go. You can collaborate. You can add your assistant to Google Keep, and then they can make the post for you and log into your account. Or you could share a grocery list with your husband. Like, it's a super cool app. So I use that to track everything. My favorite editing app is called Tezza, T-E-Z-Z-A. Hands down, I'm like, almost every photo I post has a filter on it. It just does, because lighting, it can be tricky and all of that. And what I love about it is Tezza is, they have really great presets in there, like Lightroom and all of those. They're great, but they're a heck of a lot of work. I'm like, give me one button to click and make my photo better, and we're good to go. And so with Facebook, you can have a little more creativity with like posting memes and different things. But with Instagram, you really want to keep it, you really want to keep a theme. And so if you pick a filter that you really like, you can put that on every photo that you have. So it's a theme. You know how when you go to someone's Instagram and it's like so aesthetically pleasing, you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to stay here. Everything's so beautiful. They have a theme. They're intentional about what they're doing. And then I want you to think about 5 different things you're passionate about, right? So we talked about the 80-20 principle, but you're going to talk about 5 different things on social media. Number 1, for every person watching, it's going to be real estate, because it's the industry that we're in. But then, you know, 2 through 5, that's up to you. What are you passionate about? Do you like hunting and fishing? Do you like hiking? Do you like clean eating and working out? Do you like shopping? Do you like travel? If you're married and have kids, hopefully you like them. That goes down, right? And so you pick your 5 passions. And if you look at my social media, you'll see every post I make, I'm just going through my 5. So I'm like, oh, today I'm going to post about something inspirational, right? Tomorrow I'm going to post about my family. The next day I'm going to post about my marriage, right? My son, then my marriage, then my real estate. Now for me, because I have 2 main industries, I have the real estate and I have my shampoo team, I have a 10 out of 10. So 10% of the time I post real estate, 10% of the time I post my money, my shampoo company. And so the thing is, so many people think as a real estate professional, they have to just talk about real estate all the time. But what happens is you're going to get drowned out, because people will feel like you're just out to get something. You just want the sale. And right now, this is a time to be relational with people, not transactional. So you want to have that deep dive. You want to have that really important, powerful conversation. And my husband moved our clock. So can you give me the time right now, Irene?
Yeah, we've got, it's about 5 to 2. So 5 to 11 for you.
Okay. So I'm going to give you guys an algorithm hack that's really great. and this is something I don't want to go too deep into the algorithms because it's a windy road down there. And I'm going to give you one really easy hack. So at this moment, when you make a post, about 7% of your people see your post. 7%. Do you notice how the same people comment over and over and over? And you're like,
7.
Yeah, 7.
Wow.
Super low. The highest you can get right now with the current algorithm is 42% of your people. Okay. Now, the way to get around that is 5 minutes before you post, you're going to comment on 5 people's post, a comment of 5 words or more.
Wow.
So I'm going to say that again. So 5 minutes before you make a post, you're going to comment on 5 people's post, a comment of 5 words or more. But the trick here, you guys, is you're not going to comment on the same people who you always see their pictures. If you want to build a bigger audience, you have to get in front of them. And the only way you can get in front of them is by typing their name in, being intentional. So I want you to go through your friends list, and I want you to filter it and say, who have I not connected with? Who am I not engaging with? Janice says, mind blown. Who am I not engaging with? Like, who have I not built a relationship with? Because if you want to build a different business, you got to do things differently. And if the same people are seeing you, comment on those same people, well, they're going to continue seeing you. Same thing with Instagram, you guys. If you want to have new people follow you, you have to comment on new people's pages. You have to, and the fastest way to get in front of someone is to slide into their direct messages or their DMs if you're hip. You want to slide into those, because then people are like, oh, okay, yes, like she's clearly paying attention. They can tell if you're just out to get something. You want to always make sure you're adding value. So when I reach out to someone, I'm never just like, hey, oh my gosh, we should totally follow each other. We're both in real estate, or we both do social media. I will comment on something specific in their story. Oh my gosh, your son's so cute. He's 8 months. My son's 9 months. Is he crawling yet? I want to say, like, I'm invested in this relationship and it's personal, and I want to like connect with you on a deeper level. And honestly, like, my real estate business, I'm open with sharing scripts that work for me. I'm open with sharing like stuff with my database. And the reason for that is you never know who's watching you. You never know who you're going to inspire, and you never know where your next referral is coming from. But if you have this kind of like closed mindset that you can't share your secrets, then, you know, you're missing out on a whole opportunity, because it's not just local. Most of my referrals, you guys, there are other agents all across the country. Because they're like think about if you help somebody build their business, and then they got a new listing from something you taught them. When they have someone who's moving to Toronto, they are going to want to send it to you as a thank you. And if they hear someone in their office talking about needing an agent in Toronto, they're going to be like, I've got the person for you. Like, they will run down the hall, right? That's the kind of relationships you want to build with your referral partners. And you can do it. You just have to be willing to have like an open mindset that it's okay to share. I had an agent in my market actually write me. She was very offended. She's in my local market. She was very offended that I shared my COVID script I did a Facebook Live, and it pissed her off. And she said, like, how dare you do that? Our clients are going to know what we're up to. Like, why would you do that? That's horrible. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry it offended you. That was never my intention. I build my business differently, than you do. And that's okay. My clients, when I call them, they're going to know that I'm also a coach, and I'm always happy to share. And nothing I'm saying is disingenuous. Like, I'm asking how they are and if I can help them. And then I'm leaving them with a scavenger hunt, like, what a jerk I am. But like, she couldn't wrap her brain around it. And you will come across people like that, because not everybody is going to be as open-minded as you are. And that's totally okay. You just kind of have to find your niche. And one thing I will tell you, if you send an email to thegoods@racheladamsgroup.com, so thegoods@racheladamsgroup.com, what you will get back from me is an email with a bunch of different links on like how I do door knocking, my social media 101. I do have another social media video coming out called Social Media in a Shifting Market. And some of my coaching I'm going to be releasing. Yes, thank you for putting that email in the chat box. I am going to be releasing a whole coaching program a little later this year. One of them is going to be a social media masterclass class. So it's like truly how to build a business model around social media. And it's going to be about an 8-week course. And you'll get live coaching with me one-on-one. And then I'm also doing another coaching program that is all about relationships. So the idea is how to have a big business, but an even better relationship, being married previously and doing things all wrong. I've learned a lot. And so with my husband, Ryan, who I met on Tinder, just so you know, it does work. We were really intentional. He was a mechanical engineer when we met. And so we really had to make sure that we grew together instead of grew apart. And so we have an entire coaching program we're going to do for couples. And I'm like, I'm so excited about it, you guys. I feel like it's a missing link in our industry. No one's talking about it. And I want everyone to have like a beautiful, healthy marriage. And in real estate, you know, we grow so quickly. We have these big high level conversations, especially, you know, in Keller Williams, and not every other person is getting to do that. And so it teaches you how to like work together, grow together, get through conflict, because there's conflict sometimes in marriages.
I'm not the only one that has that.
Right?
Well, Rachel,
Yeah.
I think we all need a dose of your energy every single day. My gosh,
So sweet.
we have you here, and I know your time is limited. Do we have time for any questions?
I have, let's see when my next appointment is. 1 second.
Is it South Africa?
I can go for like 4 more minutes and then I have to scoot.
If anybody has a burning question, you want to unmute yourselves and ask Rachel, you can have the floor. Maybe everybody's just in awe. I know.
Oh no.
We had a little bit of an issue with the link initially. I know there was a lot of people that either got on the link late or didn't make it at all. So we are.
Is this being recorded?
It is being recorded.
Good.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh yes, I see the recording.
We will definitely share that. That algorithm for me, Rachel, like that is crazy. It's
one simple thing. There's so many algorithms get so complicated. So I don't share the ones that are like really nitty gritty, because I don't expect people to go that high level with it, because they shouldn't have to. So I like the simple ones like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that was the biggest thing for me out of the last whirlwind, the last 30 minutes. Is there anybody else that wants to share something that really stuck out for them?
So I'd love to know, like, now that you guys have our sign in and our emails, are we going to be informed now of things that you're doing that we can sign up for, outside of things that are on YouTube and that you're sharing? Because I'm sorry, and I was in the car and I've got a search site of joining, but I was listening. There was so many great things, couldn't write it down, and I'm a fan, and I would love more.
Thank you. Yeah, if you send an email, so follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and then if you send an email to the goods, my virtual assistant pulls those emails and adds them to our mailing list, so that you'll get, because when I do like video releases, we send it out. The only thing is sometimes it goes to spam, so you'll just like, I don't know how to get through that yet.
I think you have to, if she's sending them in mass quantities, send them in smaller, and then they won't go to spam.
That would be good.
And
see, you caught me.
Taylor, Rachel, and I are in touch, and I'll make sure that everybody that's on this call, anything that Rachel does, if you do want to stay in touch and stay on top of it, we'll make sure to keep you on that mailing list too.
Thank you, Irene.
All right, my pleasure. Anybody else? Any ahas? Anything that you can do differently?
Did Mark already got his email back from me? Yeah, it's immediate. We definitely try to make sure we deliver. Yeah. They always say if you want to get something done, give it to someone busy. So I have like systems for my systems.
That's amazing.
You do one-on-one as well?
I don't know. It doesn't fit in my lifestyle with baby Henry, and I'm not ever saying this on social media, but we're trying for another baby right now. I got my husband to agree on Mother's Day that I was like, let's knock this out. So this morning I posted like our couch and our chandelier for sale. It's because we're remodeling the current formal living room to be the office. Then the current office will be a guest room, and then the current guest room will be a second baby room. So that's like all that fun stuff. Wow. And I'll never share that on social media as long as I live, because all the opinions. My goal is just to share. I mean, that's like my passion, is just paying it forward. And so like that's what I love to do. And I've been fortunate enough to get to build an entire business model around just sharing. And then I would encourage any of you, like if you want to be a coach or you want to do any of that, like I started speaking I got on the ALC. I started speaking in my local market center. And then I asked other Keller Williams market centers that were within driving distance if I could speak in their market center. And then I spoke in my local association. It just continued to grow and grow and grow. And then I got asked to go speak and travel. And then I got to, up my fees and all that stuff. And so, with my coaching, I do pre-recorded webinars with workbooks. So you have a certain, but it's like there's accountability. So you'll have like 8 days to watch a webinar, like a video, and fill out the workbook. And then I do live coaching in a private group. So my thing is it's like one-on-one, because you get me one-on-one. We get to ask one-on-one questions, and I'm always in the group. I'm very available. But I don't do like half-hour coaching calls one-on-one with people, because with having a family and the different companies, it just doesn't work for my world. So I needed to like have a time block of like, okay, my commitment to this is a half hour of coaching every Monday. So my coachings are on Mondays.
Did you hit a certain level? Like at what level in your career did you go, okay, I'm ready to coach?
It was my third year. So it's when I had hit like top 1,000 in, like it was my third year. And people were like, how did you get such quick success? Like, what are you doing? And they wanted like a real sexy answer. And I was like, I'm door knocking 200 doors a week. Like, are you kidding? Like it's grit, it's hard work. It's a lot of rejection, I just did it. Actually, I think it's still on my page. I just did a podcast interview with this guy named Jeff Fowler, and I think it's still on my page. And he just asked me like how I built a team and what my mistakes were. That'd be a good one to listen to.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Cool. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Rachel,
I appreciate you. You're welcome. If you guys took pictures of this, tag me on Instagram. I'll always repost, and I love to get to connect with you.
Yeah, that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Bye,
Okay.
Rachel.
Bye, everybody. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Taylor.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
We'll have a recording of this, so if anybody's interested, we can certainly send it out. Yeah, I think there was a few people that joined late. So thank you for coming, everybody.
Irene, how do I reach you?
My email is irenek@kw.com.
Great.
Claire, nice to see you, even though we didn't really see you. You're kind of hiding behind your photo there.
It's definitely not a good hair day, so we're gonna just go with the standard Facebook photo. So your inbox doesn't get inundated because it took me a while to get logged in. Who do I email to get the recording?
Claire, it's Janice. I will send out the full
Janice.
recording to everybody. To Taylor, I'll send it to you as well.
Oh,
Thank you so much, and
Allison,
thank you
Claire.
to your market center for arranging this. She's an amazing resource. She's really good, and I think this is an area that a lot of people have been working on through this work from home situation. So it was very, very relevant.
We got her for just over half an hour. When the first time I actually heard her speak, I was following her on social media, and the first time I saw her speak in real life was at Family Reunion in February. Taylor, that's one of our big conferences. So there was like 15,000 of us in Dallas. And this room, she had it was 3 different classes, because how they have the dividers in the convention centers. So it was 3 of those rooms with the dividers gone, and half an hour before her session started, there was not a seat to be found. And I mean, somebody made a comment that she doesn't even take a breath. Well, she's got to shove all of her knowledge into half an hour. We had her for an hour and a half, and she just didn't stop. I mean, we had lots of little good nuggets here, but in person, I mean, her personality fills the room, and she really is just one of these. She gives and gives and gives and gives and gives, because she knows when you give, you get back. You don't ever have to ask for it, because the more you give away, the more you're going to get back.
My impression is that there are a lot of realtors who do social media, but she's a social media person who does real estate.
Oh,
well said.
That's said. Well,
that's always been my impression of her. Yeah,
she's a people person, right?
Yeah. I think she's like, the fact that she can dissect the algorithms and sit there and talk to you about what works and what doesn't work and why, other than just this works, trust me. I think that goes a really long way. Gives her a lot of credibility. Anyway, thank you for organizing. I look forward to getting the recording, and I'm waving even though you can't see me. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Taylor, anything else we can help you with? Because I mean, I know Rachel better than anybody. Is there anything else that we can help you with in this?